Percent increase and percent decrease is the section in the textbook we're looking at. To start today, I just wanted to give you some definitions. The rate of decrease is the percent obtained when the amount of decrease is divided by the base or previous amount. I know these sound technical, but we're going to use them, so just bear with me. The rate of increase, the percent obtained when the amount of increase is divided by the base or previous amount. And the percentage distribution is the percent each part is of the total. So in finding the percent of change, sometimes we're finding the percent of decrease and sometimes we're finding the percent of increase. So we're going to start with finding the percentage of increase. The first thing you're going to do is work out the difference between the two numbers you're comparing. And then you're going to do that by subtracting the old number from the new number. Then you're going to divide the increase by the original number and multiply the answer by 100. The percent increase is the increase that you just found divided by the original number, and then that's going to give you a decimal, so you multiply it by 100 to get the percent. If your answer is negative number, then this is a percentage of a decrease. So here we go. So let's find the percent of increase. Sales this year was 800,120, and the sales last year were $620,125. And this has too many dollar signs on it, so it's bugging me. So it's just supposed to have one. Sorry about that error. So sales last year were $620,125. So we're supposed to find the percent of increase. So I take last year's sales, I take this year's sales and I subtract last year's sales. When I do that, I plug it into my calculator and I do the subtraction via my calculator. So 800,120 minus 620,125, and that gives me 179,995. And just for, to make sure we did it right, we just type it in again, do that subtraction again. Okay, and we got the same answer. Notice that my answer is positive, so that means that I have the amount of change is an increase. So once I find that amount, to find the percentage of increase, I take this number I just found, which was my increase, which is $179,995, and I divide it by the original amount, which was the sales from last year, which is $620,125. That's going to give me that number, and then I multiply it by 100 because that's a decimal and I need to change it to percent. So I multiply it by 100. My percent is 29.025, so at 29.03. So my percentage of increase is 29.03% is my percentage of increase. Okay. To calculate the percentage of decrease, the process is the same. First, you work out the difference between the two numbers you're comparing, which means I'm going to subtract the new number from the original. Then I'm going to divide the decrease by the original number and multiply the answer by 100 so I can make it a percent. So the percent decrease will be the decrease divided by the original number times 100. If your answer is negative, then this is a percentage increase because I've done it backwards. So just be mindful of what way you're going. Example, so we're going to find the percentage of decrease. So sales this year were $127,430, and sales last year were $145,507. So you can see that last year's sales were higher, so there's a decrease in sales. Find the percent of decrease. So I'm going to subtract these numbers just like I did before. I get 18,077. And as always, you should just do it twice just to make sure you get the same answer. So that does an automatic error check. Otherwise, we get weird things, and sometimes our calculator doesn't reset. So I have $18,077. And it is a decrease, so I'm changing from a higher number last year to a lower number this year. So that's the decrease value. That's the decrease amount. So to find the decrease, the percent of decrease, I'm going to take the decrease amount, and I'm going to divide it by the original amount, which was last year's sales, and then I'm going to multiply it by 100. And so that will change it from a fraction, or from a decimal to a percent. So take that, I'm going to divide it by the original amount, which gives me the decimal, and then I multiply it by 100 to get the percent. So I have 12.42, notice that's a 3, so then it would be 12.42, I'm not rounding it up, so 12.42%. So the next thing I'm going to look at is finding the change in the total from the percentage of change. So up to now I found the percentage of change. Now I'm going to kind of work backwards. So Allie earned 15% more this year than last year. If her earning last year was $24,600, find her earnings this year. There should be a D there. So the amount of increase, this is my basic part, base, and rate problem. So the percent is her rate, right? So this is my rate. And I'm looking at the original amount being this. So this is my base. So to find the amount of increase, the part, I'm going to take the amount of the base, which is the 24,600, and I'm going to multiply it by the percentage, so 15%. And if I wanted to write that as a decimal, which I have to do in order to multiply, it'd be 0.15, move the decimal 2 places to the left. But if you will plug it into your calculator, it will do that for you. So I take my 24,600, and I'm going to multiply it times 15, and I hit the second and the 2 right there because there's a little green percent sign above it. That changes it to the percent that I have written down here, and then I get my answer. So 3690, so 3,690 is how much her increase will be. But that's not her amount of her pay, right? Her pay is actually this plus the original amount. So the total pay is going to be the original amount plus how much more she's making this year. So I just add them together, which gives me $28,290. That's her percentage of pay. I mean, sorry, that's her new pay. Okay. So now we have Green College's enrollment is 8,245, declined by 8%. So this is what they had last year. It's declined by 8%. We want to find the total college enrollment after the decline. So again, this is a part base rate problem where this is my rate, and as the original number, this is my base. And I'm looking for the part, so I'm going to multiply them, right? Base times rate. So this is going to equal the previous amount, the $8,245, or 45 people, times the 8%. If I write that as a decimal, it's going to give me this, because I moved 2 places to the left. But if that messes me up, I can just use my calculator. 8,000, I want you to be able to see the numbers. 8,245 times 8%. See, that matches my number right here. Put a precursor 0 just so we know that we have a placeholder. It's a 0.08. Okay. And then I multiply them, so that gives me 659.6. So I would round it up because I'm talking about people, so that would give me 660 people, right? Because we can't have 0.6 of a person. So this is the decrease amount. It is not the new enrollment. And I'm supposed to find out what the total college enrollment is after the decline. So now I'm going to take my original amount, the 8,245, and I'm going to subtract the 660. And that's going to give me the 7,765. And this is my new enrollment. After the decline. Okay. The next thing we're going to look at is determining the percentage of distribution. Okay, so what I'm looking at is these are all the sales for the different departments of a store. And when I add them all up, this is the total. So this becomes my base, right? And to find a part, I always divide, to find a percent, I always divide the part by the base. So these are all parts of a whole. So I'm going to do this division. So basically I'm going to take the $2,937 and I'm going to divide it by the $17,293. That's going to give me roughly 16 point, see the decimal point right here? So then I have to multiply it by 100 to make it a decimal. So that's going to give me 16.98%. Then I do the same thing with my 5,845. I divide it by the 17,293. Again, I'm finding the percentage that each part is. That's going to give me my decimal. I multiply it by 100. I'm going to hold my decimal places out to 2 places. Notice that 2 places would have a 9, and looking to the right, there's a 9. So that would make this a 0 and put that as an 80. So this would be 33 and 33.80%. I need that 33.80%. I need that 0 at the end to make sure that I have the right decimal places, 33.80%. Then I take my 2432 and I divide that by 17,293. It gives me that. I multiply it by 100. My percent is 14.06. Then I take my 6,079. I divide it by the 1,000 or 17,293. It gives me that decimal. I multiply it by 100, and it gives me 35.15%. And if I did this all correctly, the total amount should be 100% because these are all of my pieces, so my total should equal 100. So to check it, I would just take the 16.98, the 33.8, the 14.06, and the 35.15. And I got 99, and if I rounded it, it would be 100%. So you have a little bit of an error in your percentages, but it is almost right on. So this is how you find the percentage of distribution. Those are the 3 big ideas for this section. If you have any questions, let me know when you get to class.